Monostable, it is also called as one-shot vibrator, ma'am. The circuit, the duration of the pulse is determined by the RC network, which is connected externally to the 555 timer, ma'am. In stable state, the output of the circuit is zero or logic low. When the external trigger is when the external pulse is high, the output of the output will be high, ma'am. The time output remains high. The external circuit RC uh, returns RC network connected to the timer, ma'am. At the end of the timing interval, the output automatically reverts back to its normal logic low state. Mm, and the cycle repeats again. Uh, Normally, the output of the monostable multivibrator is low, ma'am. There will be 8 pin in circuit diagram for monostable vibrator. Each pin has its own indications. Whereas pin 1 is ground, pin 2 is trigger, uh, pin 4 is used as reset, and pin 3 is output. Pin 5 is voltage control. Pin 6 is threshold. Pin 7 is discharge, and pin 8 is VCC, ma'am. Mm.
Design, Bharat, design equation.
Design uh, uh, equation, ma'am.
T on is equal to T.
TP is equal to 1.11 AC into C seconds, where RA is a resistor and C is a capacitor. It is used to calculate the time during the output, which is high.
Okay. Okay, TP is the pulse width.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Very good. And you should, you know the circuit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. I want at last, I'll give 5 minutes. Bhumika, you have to explain the stable multivibrator. Get ready, Bhumika, after this class. Can you hear me,
Yes, ma'am.
Bhumika? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we'll move on to the MOSFET. So last class we discussed about MOSFET introduction. So as you all know that the MOSFET is a metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. There are three materials. As the name itself indicates, it is a MOS. So you have a metal layer, oxide, then semiconductor. So here the structure is like this. There is a semiconductor material. So the semiconductor material is, you are going to take it as a p-type substrate. So I'm talking here about the n-channel MOSFET. So substrate is a p-type. Substrate are a n plus 2 n plus regions going to form a source and the drain. On this we have a metal for the contact. So the metal is like this. Um, so this is source, and again on the drain are another heavily doped region, as on the top is have a metal. I can label it as drain, and you have an oxide layer. So silicon dioxide acts as an insulator between the gate and the body. And then on top of that, again for the contact, we are going to use a metal. So now a metal oxide, this is SiO2, oxide layer, silicon dioxide. We can label it this as gate. So this is a structure, and you have a fourth terminal, we can say again with a metal contact, is body or substrate. So there are four terminals, but in the symbol you are going to observe three terminals, because body and the subsource has to be shorted always to avoid body effect. So if you are not shorting source and the body, it leads to the bulk or a body, the B. This body will act as a second gate. So if you apply a voltage to this body, again it will act as a second gate. Again, whatever the electrons, minority carriers are moved towards the base. So in order to avoid that, we'll be shorting the source and the bulk array body or a substrate, I can say. So that is a fourth terminal. So now, as the name itself indicates, it is a metal, oxide or silicon dioxide, and the semiconductor is a p-type. As you all know that in p-type, electrons are majority, holes are minority carriers. So here this is a channel region. So below the gate you have a channel region. So channel is required for the conduction of electrons. So this channel is going to be formed below the gate. The channel won't be formed at the beginning. It has to be induced. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll be making the source and the body as forward biased. Forward bias means I have to connect it to the which one? Positive or negative? It is N plus.
Positive.
It is connected to forward bias ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. How to make forward bias?
Negative, ma'am.
Negative. N
Negative.
is
Negative
connected to
terminal.
negative. And this positive is connected to the drain. So now tell me, drain and the source, is it forward or reverse biased? So now there are two PN junction is formed here. One is across the source and one is across the drain. So this PN junction is forward biased, and this PN junction at the drain is, because N is connected to the positive battery, so I can say it is reverse biased. This is reversed, and your source to drain is forward. Okay. So next, so here a gate is a controlling terminal in the MOSFET. So what will happen if I apply a gate voltage? So if I apply a gate voltage, a positive voltage to the gate, a small voltage I am going to apply. So with respect to source. So what will happen due to this positive voltage? Which are the charges are going to be attracted to the positive voltage?
Negative
Due to
charges.
this negative charges. So electrons or the minority carriers are present in the p-type substrate are attracted to the positive voltage. So the electrons we are going to attract it to the gate voltage, a positive gate voltage. So only few electrons are take part in the conduction because it is a very less voltage we applied. Further, if you increase the gate voltage, what will happen? So what are the majority minority carriers present? They will take part in the conduction. The channel is going to be formed, and there is a depletion region. The depletion region, in the sense, a region is going to be separate the channel and the substrate. So you can say this is a depletion region is going to be formed. Then, so the channel is formed but not that much conduction. So I can say Vg should be greater than the threshold voltage, Vt. Vt is the threshold voltage. When Vg is greater than Vt, I can say this transistor is on. So if Vg is less than Vt, the transistor is going to be off. So how to define threshold voltage? Yes. How to define threshold voltage?
The minimum voltage which required to on the gate.
Yes. So the minimum voltage, it is a minimum voltage required to acquire or accumulate the sufficient number of electrons. Sufficient number of electrons means there is a conduction should be established. We can say that is a threshold voltage. It is a minimum voltage required to accumulate the minimum number of electrons for the conduction. So channel is going to be formed between the source and the drain. So now still it is not sufficient. So you can observe the source and the drain. So drain is at higher potential and the source is at the lower potential. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So here So VDS is required. So VDS is required here. Electrons always will move to the higher potential. So whatever the electrons present in this N plus will move towards a higher potential. So the electron flow will be the direction like this. The electrons is going to move from source to drain because drain is at a higher potential. The electrons will immune to move to the higher potential. So direction of electrons is like this. So the direction of current flow will be reverse of it. So let me represent in different color. So the current direction will be from drain to source. So this is current direction. Always remember it will be reverse. Flow of electrons, the current direction will be reverse of electrons flow. Okay. The electron flow direction is from source to drain and the current direction is from drain to source. Is this clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is about the operation of MOSFET. So this is not in your syllabus, this is just to basic for you. Next, you have to know about, like in BJT, we have studied 3 configurations, as you all know that. CB, CC, CE. So common base, common collector, common emitter configuration in BJT. Like that, we have in MOSFET the source, common gate and common drain. There are 3 configurations. Okay. So in this again, so in BJT most frequently used common emitter in BJT operation we have studied by using common emitter configuration. Now here we are going to study the biasing techniques based on common source configuration. So the symbol of MOSFET is like this. There are 2 vertical lines. They are going to represent the gate and the channel. Okay. So the 3 terminals are gate, drain and source according to you. I'll go with that. So drain and the source. So common source means the source will be grounded. We'll be giving input to the gate and we'll be measuring output at the drain. Okay. So output at the drain means I'll be worried about what is the output current ID. What is the output voltage? What is the output voltage?
VD.
Output voltage is VD or
VDD.
VDD, or it can like with respect to ground will be measuring. So VDS, ID VDS, output voltage, output current. So just recall from the BJT common emitter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು IC VCE ನ we are going to finding out. Yes or no? We are making IC as a constant. Biasing circuit use ಮಾಡಿ we are generating a IC stable current. ಏನೇ variation, that is temperature variation ಏನೇ ಆದರೂ we are making this IC as insensitive to the variation. Similarly here also our intention is to generate a constant output current, a stable output current, that is drain current. This should not affect with respect to the temperature. Whatever may be the variation, that should not affect my current. So here also we will be talking about quiescent point or a operating point. Okay. So that is ID. Our intention is to get a stable, predictable, calculatable ID. We are making here insensitive to the variation, that is temperature variations. Okay. Is this clear now? The difference?
Yes, ma'am.
So common gate and common drain we'll study in the next module. I'll tell you how the derivation you have to do it. Leave it now. So only for the biasing techniques for the module 1 you should know what is common source. Okay. So now the thing you know that biasing, what is biasing? Now, so if you want to use your transistor as an amplifier, that is MOSFET as an amplifier, Here also we'll prefer the region is, it is operated in 3 regions. So that is cutoff. Anyone? What are the 3 regions of operations or 3 modes?
Active region.
I can't say
Saturation.
here active region, saturation, correct. We call it as a cutoff and triode. Cutoff, triode. Triode, now we can call it as a linear region. Okay. So next, the third region of operation is saturation. Whereas in BJT, cutoff, active and saturation. So now saturation is region is used for amplification. Okay. So now our intention is the first thing, the MOSFET has to be turned on. The MOSFET has to be turned on when you set a value Vg should be greater than Vt. Then your transistor has to be in the saturation mode. Whereas in BJT it is to be in the active mode. So don't confuse. So you can observe the characteristics. Okay, so this is the characteristics of output characteristics of MOSFET. That is common source only. The ID versus VDS. So ID is the output current, VDS is the output voltage. So it got a characteristics like this. So this is a cutoff. This VGS is less than VT. I can say it is cutoff. So because your transistor will be off. So that is cutoff region. And this is a triode region or a linear region. You can observe the linear portion here. This is a linear. And then saturation. So once it reaches the constant value, further if you increase the VGS or a VDS, it reaches to a saturation value, constant value. So that is a saturation region. This region is used for amplification. Okay. Now, the major goal of bias is to ensure that the mass has to be in the saturation region at all times. Okay. So here the bias is a state of the system when there is no signal. Bias point or operating point or a quiescent point should be stable. So stable in the sense it is going to be make insensitive to variations. So here you have to remember an expression. So here they have not given this derivation of ID. They directly given the biasing technique and they directly taken the expression ID. It is a saturation current expression. Please note down. This is very important. You have to remember the formula this. So for your syllabus, they are not prescribed the derivation. If you want me to do the derivation, I'll do it in a class if you want. Otherwise, you remember this formula. ID is equal to 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT the whole square. Here, W is the width of a transistor, L is the channel length, and Kn dash is the process transconductance parameter. Process transconductance. So that is given as mu n into COX. Any idea about mu n? What is mu? You studied in ED, I guess. What is mu n and mu p?
Mobility.
Yes, mobility, correct. So this is a process transconductance parameter that is given as mu n into COX. So just I'll go back to the slide. One thing I hope you have observed, this is a p-type substrate. Channel formed is p-type or p channel or n channel?
N channel, ma'am.
N channel. So I hope it is an inverted channel. Yes. Substrate is p-type. Channel is
Yes, ma'am.
N
N
channel.
channel.
It is inverted. Okay. So here that is the one thing. And one more thing I want to convey you. Can you observe there is a capacitor formed in between the gate and the channel? This is a gate and this is a channel region or a substrate. So when you apply a positive voltage to the gate, this due to this positive polarity, what are attracted in the
Positive
channel?
charges.
Due to this
Channel negative charges.
channel negative charges. It seems to be a capacitor, top plate and bottom plate.
Yes, ma'am.
What exactly in this? I can say it is oxide layer. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the oxide layer. So can I say it is a COX?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are you agree, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
The gate and channel is going to be by form a capacitor. So in between the gate and channel you have an oxide layer. I should know what is the oxide capacitance. So now just to convey you that, I'll move back to this. Okay. So the COX is the oxide capacitance. How can you find out oxide capacitance is? It is epsilon naught x permittivity of oxide layer by thickness. ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಗೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಅದ್ರ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ permittivity can be defined because we are using a silicon dioxide as an oxide layer. So epsilon naught x is given as 3.9 times epsilon naught. This is for silicon. Epsilon OX, that is permittivity of oxide layer, can be given as 3.9 times epsilon naught is a constant by thickness, like 50 nanometer or micrometers like that. So what is epsilon naught? Permittivity of what? What is the value at least? What is the value of epsilon naught? Anyone? It is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. Okay. It is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. So that is a way you're going to find out. Okay. You will get problems based on this. That's why I'm telling this. So mu n, as you told that it is a mobility of electrons. So this is for n channel, that's why it is mobility mu n. If it is PMOS, mu p. Okay. So is this clear with an expression? This is a saturation current expression. ID is equal to 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT the whole square. W is the width of a transistor, L is the channel length. We call this W by L as aspect ratio. Okay. And here the two terms are very sensitive to temperature, that is mobility. The mobility of electrons are very sensitive to temperature, and then the threshold voltage Vt. So these two are temperature dependent terms. What will happen if the temperature variation affect on mu n and Vt, which in turn disturbs the ID? Is this clear my point?
Yes, ma'am.
We can't achieve the stable ID value because these two terms are sensitive to temperature variations. So that is only it is written here, resilient to the variations in mu and COX and W by L and Vt. So due to the temperature and our manufacturing variability, again and again I am telling that manufacturing variability means we are going to feed in the batch process, bulk devices will be feeded for the manufacturing of an IC. That will very sensitive to the temperature variations. So here the important parameters are ID and VDS. Okay. So how this bias point impacts? So the bias point impacts small signal parameters as well as large signal, how the large signal can be amplified, and it is also impact on power consumption. Okay. So this is the important outlines of your biasing. So next, the biasing, you can say it is an essential step in the design of a MOSFET amplifier circuit, is the establishment of an appropriate DC operating point or a Q point of the transistor. Okay, same definition as your BJT. But here instead of BJT, MOSFET has to be in the saturation region to act as an amplifier. Wherever we are using as an amplifier, biasing is essential to set an appropriate operating point. So this step is also known as a biasing or a bias design. So if you want to have an operating point or a bias point, what is the intention? Is to characterize a stable, predictable DC drain current ID and the DC drain to source voltage VDS. Our intention is to make this device to be in the saturation region for all expected input signal levels. Input signal level in the sense it may be a small signal or it may be a large signal. Our intention is to, if you want to use it as an amplifier, we have to ensure the operation in saturation region. So there are 4 techniques under biasing of an MOSFET. By fixing VGS, fixing VG and connecting a resistance in the source, biasing using a drain to gate feedback resistor, biasing using constant current source. So according to your syllabus, the prescribed are first 3 techniques. We are not studying a last technique using constant current source. Okay, we'll go one by one. This is the first technique, biasing by fixing VGS. So you have I can observe the circuit here. So this is a common source configuration. This is a gate terminal. This is a drain. This is a source. Source is grounded because it's a CS configuration. So we are giving input to the gate. So VGS is a small signal and it is the bias DC voltage capital VGS. Now don't worry about it. Again I will explain you when you are explaining small signal operation. Okay. So just observe, and the output is going to be taken at the drain terminal and we are going to apply a supply voltage VDD through a resistor RD. There is a current flows across the drain is ID. Okay. So I hope you know that one of the important feature of MOSFET is high input impedance. So we have chosen here connected a gate resistance RG. It should be always in terms of mega ohm. Okay. Is this clear now in the circuit wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, don't confuse with this VEE. So this is VSS. Okay. Source. So now observe the characteristics curve ID versus VGS. So our technique says it is fixing VGS. So we have taken here 2 device 1 and device 2. The 2 MOSFET devices we have taken. For those 2 devices, we are fixing constant VGS. So constant VGS we have taken say 5 volts. VGS is 5 volts for both the devices. What will happen to the ID1 and ID2? So ID1 and ID2 are varying. So the variation is larger. Yes or no? So did you
Yes,
got the
ma'am.
same ID? No. So even though you have fixed common VGS, we are not able to get a constant ID or a same current value for both the devices. There is a variation in the drain current. Why that variation will happen? Yes? Anybody? Why this variation will happen? As I told you, Vt and mu n are temperature dependent. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this Vt and mu n are temperature dependent. Even though you are fixing VGS, Vd, Id, I can't make independent of temperature because Id is directly proportional to mu n as well as Vt. So here this is not a good biasing technique because the variation, I can say, changing the current of 2 devices delta ID by ID is very large. So that's why it is not a good biasing technique. We are not preferring this. So here you can observe the method can result in a large variability in the value of ID Devices 1 and 2 represent extreme among units of the same type. I have taken N channel only. I have taken 2 devices are of same type, means N channel MOSFET only we have taken. We have given VGS 5 volts only, but we can't able to achieve a stable current ID. Okay? Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next technique is the second technique. So that is biasing using a fixed voltage at the gate, that is VG, and a resistance in the source LED. So here the circuit is a common source only, but you are including a source resistance at the source terminal, and we are fixing VG now. So gate voltage is going to be fixed. So what is happening in the characteristic same curve, ID versus VGS only. So VGS1, VGS2 will be vary, but VG is constant. We can observe the line, we have straight line we have joined here. So now, what is the variation you can observe ID1 and ID2 compared to previous one? What is the
Difference is
variation?
small.
This is difference is small. Whereas previous you can observe the variation is very large. In this variation is very less. So reduce the variability in ID. Next, just apply a KVL to the inner loop. What you will get an expression? So it is plus VG minus VGS and voltage across RS. It is IDRS. Yes, you will get VG plus 2 minus VGS, then minus the voltage across RS. What is the voltage across RS? Current into resistance. What current you have? ID into RS is equal to 0. This can also be written as VG is equal to VGS plus RS into ID. Okay? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So now,
Yes, ma'am.
if I want to write ID, what is ID from this expression?
VG minus VGS by RS.
I'll write it somewhere here. ID is equal to, yeah, what is the value?
VG minus VGS by RS.
Okay, VG by RS plus or minus.
Minus, ma'am.
Okay, first let me write, so it is minus 1 by RS into VGS. Why I'll tell you why I've written first this, plus VG by RS. Okay, any doubt in the expression?
No, ma'am.
So y is equal to, if I equate to the straight line, mx plus c, m is a slope. What is the slope? You got it from this expression?
1 by RS.
M is equal to minus 1 by Rs. This is a slope. This Rs will act as a degeneration resistance. So this affect on the less variation in ID1 and ID2. So this is straight line equation. When you compare with the general expression, so you'll get the slope will be minus 1 by Rs. So what will happen if Vg greater than Vgs? How to find out ID if Vg greater than Vgs? ID is determined by Vg and Rs. Yes or no? So Vg
Yes, ma'am.
value greater ಆದರೆ VGS ಗಿನ್ನ positive Vg minus VGS. So ID will be determined by Vg and Rs. Resistance also impact on ID. So here you are having less variation in ID1 and ID2. Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these are the practical implementation. So, for suppose if you want to use a biasing for MOSFET, so you're going to use these are the techniques. Here, this is normal voltage divider one. So, practical implementation using single supply. We are using only single supply VDD. RG1, RG2 are connected in a voltage divider fashion. You can observe nothing will flows, no current flows into the gate. That's why the direction here under 0 indicates no current flows inside the gate. That's why resistance is infinity. Okay, high input resistance. So this is I will prefer practically, and this is the same circuit. What are the differences you are observed from the figure C and figure D? What extra thing is there?
Voltage source and a resistor capacitor.
Resistance.
Okay, voltage source, signal resistance, capacitor. What is the use of coupling capacitor? I've told you in the AC amplifier, AC and DC amplifier. Coupling capacitor is used to allow what signal? AC or DC? It will allow AC or DC? ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈಯರ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟು ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಗರ್ ಸಿ ಇಂದ ಇಷ್ಟು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇದು ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಡಿ ಸಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ಸಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್. So coupling capacitor is used to allow AC signal bypasses DC. It will blocks DC, allow AC. Okay, is this clear now? Wherever you are finding CC at the input side, always will find the coupling capacitor at the input side as well as the output side. Output side coupling capacitor next amplifier ಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಕೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರು ಎ ಸಿನ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಡಿ ಸಿನ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಡಿ ಸಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಮೇನ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಡಿ ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗ್. ಎ ಸಿನ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು bypass DC, allow AC signal. Okay, so that is about this circuit. And coming to the figure E is a practical implementation of two supply. So here the first circuit we have single supply. If you have two supply VDD and minus VSS, we are going to prefer this circuit, and you are going to connect RG. RG has to be always in terms of mega ohm, high input resistance. And source resistance we have used this technique is for biasing. Previously we have studied, right? So that is a biasing technique. This is the circuit you have to remember, that's it. Okay, shall I move on to the next technique?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, I'll take up when the problem, I'll tell you the design. So the next technique is the biasing in MOSFET amplifier, that is using drain to gate feedback resistor. Okay, for that this is single supply. Here it is uses one power supply VDD. It derives VG through the voltage divider. How to get VG now? Voltage divider rule. What is the supply voltage?
VDD.
VDD into ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟರು?
RG2.
RG2. You are not supposed to forget this voltage divider rule by total
RG1 plus
resistance.
RG.
RG1 plus RG2.
Yes, sum of the resistance. RG1 plus RG2. So this way you are going to find out the gate voltage. So gate voltage na voltage divider tarano find out ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, or you can give any reference value. Okay. So since Ig is equal to 0, Rg1, Rg2 can be selected to be very large. As you all know that resistance will be voltage by current. So Vg by Ig, that is your Rg. So Ig is 0. Anything by 0?
Infinity.
Infinity.
Infinity. That is infinite means we are taking in the range of mega ohm. That's why high input resistance for a MOSFET, allowing the MOSFET to present a large input resistance to a signal source. Okay. Last technique, the third technique is biasing using a drain to gate feedback resistor. So common source amplifier. So we are connecting like your collector to base resistor connect madidvalla. Same thing here, drain to gate feedback through the resistor RG. RG has to be large resistor. It is always in terms of mega ohm. So now just apply KVL to the outer loop. So here gate and the drain are shorted. So you can say Vg is equal to Vd. Yes? Yes or no? Because source is shorted. If I write
Yes,
VGS
ma'am.
also, no meaning. It is not that much affection. So VGS is equal to VDS. So this is also one of the technique to make your transistor in saturation. Here saturation means you have to remember one more condition, VDS should be greater than or equal to VGS minus VT. Okay. So if this condition satisfies, your device should be in the saturation. That's why we are going to shorting drain to gate feedback resistor, the resistors to maintain high resistance. So now VGS is equal to VDS. Is this clear now? Why it is equal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because you are shorting gate and drain. That's why VG is equal to VD. VD, then what will you get if you apply KVL? VDD minus the current voltage through the resistor. VDD minus
RD.
IDRD. Okay. From this, what is VDD? VDD is equal
VGS
to
plus IDR.
VGS plus IDRD. So now, so here, what is the slope? Again, ID is equal to ID is equal to minus
Minus 1 by RD.
1 by RD into VGS plus VDD by RD. So ಈ equation ಇಂದನೇ ID ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So then if you equate with a simple straight line expression mx plus c, so now slope will be minus 1 by RD. So I have not included here the characteristics. Okay, fine. So now the slope will be 1 by RD. So here this RG will act as a negative feedback. So it will help in maintaining the drain current constant. Is this clear with the three techniques? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So biasing is going to is an essential step. You're going to get a predictable ID value. Just remember this ID value So ID is equal to 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L into Vgs minus Vt the whole square. So in this mu n and Vt are very sensitive to temperature. This will affect on ID. Our intention is to maintain the constant ID. So for that we can say it is a biasing. So the biasing, there are three techniques. There are three types of biasing, that is biasing by fixing VGS, biasing by fixing VG and connecting a source resistance, and biasing using a drain to gate feedback resistor. So in biasing by fixing VGS, even though we have fixed constant VGS for the same type of MOSFET, that is N-channel MOSFET, we couldn't able to get a constant ID. We got there is a large variation in ID1 and ID2. So this is not preferable. This is not a good technique. We are not choosing this. So next technique is by fixing VG. Again, we have taken the same VG value for the two devices of N-channel MOSFET. So you'll get the variation is less. There is a less variation in ID1 and ID2 compared to the fixing VGS. And we got a slope is minus 1 by RS. And these are the practical implementation of the biasing techniques, that is voltage divider bias. And here we have used a coupling capacitor, allow AC, bypasses DC. And here it is dual supply. Whenever you are using dual supply, we'll be preferring this practical implementation. And this is how we are going to find out a VG value and how to choose a gate resistance. The gate resistance value has to be larger in terms of mega ohm. And this is a biasing in using drain to gate feedback resistor. So here you are going to short a drain and a gate terminal through a resistor RG. RG is large resistor, as you all know that. So the expression is VGS is equal to VDS. So this will makes the device should be in the saturation, that is VDD minus IDRD. So VDD is equal to VGS plus IDRD, and this is we're going to get an ID expression. Yes. So this completes your biasing techniques. Next class we discuss about small signal operation and models. So we have to derive an expression for signal current in the drain terminal. Okay. So here also you need to remember the notation, small ID, capital ID. Okay. Transconductance DM. Yes, is this clear with today's session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bhumika?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you explain unstable multivibrator?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want, you can use paper and pen and you switch on your video.
That's okay, ma'am. I'll explain orally.
No, fine.
A stable vibrator is also called as free running multivibrator because they do not require an external trigger to change the state of output. And a stable vibrator is a rectangular wave generating circuit. The time during which the output is either high or low is determined by two resistors and a capacitor which are connected to the timer externally. So when the voltage across the capacitor is equals to 2 by 3rd of VCC, the output switches to low, during which the capacitor discharges. And when the voltage across C equals to 1 by 3rd of VCC, the output goes high, during which the capacitor charges. In this way, the cycle repeats. So when the output is high, that is when the capacitor charges from during 1 by 3rd of VCC to 2 by 3rd of VCC. It is given by TC, that equals to 0.69 RA plus RB into C. And when the output is low, that is during capacitor discharging from 2 by 3rd of VCC to 1 by 3rd of VCC, during which which is given by TD, that equals to 0.69 RB into C. The total time period is given by T equals to TD plus TC, that equals to 0.69 RA plus 2 RB into C. So the frequency is nothing but 1 by T, that equals to 1.45 by RA plus 2 RB into C. Then the duty cycle, it is a ratio of time for which the output is high to the total time period. It is given by TC by T. So percentage duty cycle is given by RA plus RB by RA plus 2 RB into 100. That's all. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Brunda R.
Yes, ma'am.
Brunda, can you explain me monostable, which is one-shot multivibrator?
Okay, ma'am.
Which is one-shot multivibrator? Which is called one-shot multivibrator?
Ma'am.
Which is called one-shot multivibrator? Which multivibrator is called one-shot?
Oh,
Yeah,
monostable multivibrator, ma'am.
one-shot is monostable.
Monostable,
Free running,
ma'am.
free running.
Astable, ma'am.
Okay. Can you write the circuit diagram of monostable? Only circuit diagram.
Okay, ma'am.
Switch on your video.
Yes, ma'am.
Dikshit. Dikshit. Okay. Dikshit is not in the class. Danush. Chandana D.
Yes, ma'am.
Chandana, you have to get ready with a waveform for monostable multivibrator. Only waveform.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. After Brunda. Brunda, you can tell how we are going to connect. Just write and you can. What you are going to connect? 8 and 4 you're starting and connect it to VCC like that. You just speak and write the diagram. You are muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pin number two is dedicated for input, that is for triggering. So, and pin number 3 is for output, and pin number 8 and pin number 4 is shortened and given to VCC. Pin number 4 is reset, that is also shorted and given to VCC. And pin number 7 and 6 are shorted, and it is connected to resistor RA, and it is also given to VCC. Pin number 1 is connected to capacitor, and it is grounded. And pin number 5 is also connected to capacitor C1, that is of 0.01 microfarad, and it is shorted with pin number 1, and it is grounded.
Okay, Brunda. Ananya. Ananya. Okay, Ashita, yours and 47.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashita, is this correct? Brunda, once again,
Yes, ma'am.
is this correct?
Our screen is not visible, ma'am. Once again.
Brunda, can you switch on and show me the circuit again?
One minute, ma'am.
Harini?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you get ready with the design part of monostable.
Yes, ma'am. Correct, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Brunda. Okay, Ashita, thank you. Next. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ? ಚಂದನ? Chandana D?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Chandana. You can switch on your video and write down the waveform I told, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, start writing. Meanwhile, I want Shreyas to write the design for unstable multivibrator. Shreyas, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Stable, no, ma'am.
Yeah, unstable. Yeah. Chandana, switch on your video. And you are muted. Unmute yourself. Yeah, Chandana, your screen is visible. Start writing.
Yes, ma'am.
These two things you are going to do it in the lab also. It is very helpful for you if you learn the circuit and the design waveform. Values don't want Chandana, just draw the rough sketch
Yes, ma'am.
because the time is will be a problem for you again. You won't get break time. That's right. Okay, okay, Chandana. Uh, okay, good. Arini? Arini, switch on your video. Arini?
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Mm. If Shreyas is ready, Shreyas can proceed.
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah. Switch on your video. At least you can have 5 minutes break. Do it fast. Yeah.
Is it focusing, ma'am?
Yeah. You can write expression. Or you can tell orally. If you are doing in mobile, you can tell orally.
Laptop, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll-
Okay. Yeah.
And the T is equal to TC plus TD, ma'am. First we'll do that, then finally we'll have to find F naught frequency, that is 1 by T, ma'am.
Hmm.
So the value will be that not something.
Okay. I hope you have all studied. So start